had the highest homicide rate of any people group in history. They were reclusive, mysterious, as well as astonishingly violent. They had successfully warded off the government, the military, and progress itself, retreating deeper and deeper into the jungle with every outside contact. They lived as they had for centuries, walled in by the jungle. They were Stone Age people alive and well in the 20th century. Neighboring tribes referred to them simply as the Savages. They were the Auca. They were young. They were smart. They had bright futures in many different fields. They were the movers and shakers of their time. They were adventurers. 5 men, passionate and obedient for the sake of the call of God. They were brave, they were spirited, they were pushing the boundaries of traditional views. They were innovators and pioneers of their time. They were adventurers, 5 women, passionate, obedient for the sake of the call of God. So the team of Operation Auca people was in darkness, people that had never been introduced to their Creator. No one had ever brought them the good news of God's love. They had to be told before it was too late. The missionary team felt this was the reason they were alive. So the team of Operation Auca was born, and time was of the essence. The oil companies were weary of struggling with the indigenous peoples who stood in the way of their oil. The government was embarrassed because they couldn't control their citizens, and the tribe was in jeopardy at their own hands due to intertribal warfare. They knew that others had gone before them, unsuccessfully. It's no small thing to try and bridge the 20th century and the Stone Age, wrote Nate Saint. They knew they had a lot to lose. But he is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain that which he cannot lose. So in the fall of 1955, just before the flood season began, the missionary team realized they had a window of time. They stepped through it. From everything he was lived through. The overtures of friendship had been successful, and the missionaries made the first known peaceful contact between the feared Aucas and the outside world, complete with peanut butter sandwiches, insect repellent, and an airplane ride. Their moment had arrived. Men of courage, with your message of peace, what is that look in your eyes? Why have it? What now? They were gone. But why? It seemed like such a waste. 5 young men, their whole lives ahead of them, their young families by their sides. Where was God when the spears went in? Where was God when the bodies were dumped in the river? Why? How? The questions flood, drowning all that you thought you knew. But this is not the end of the story. As is the case with God, sometimes what seems like a tragic end is really a miraculous beginning. One of the wives of the 5 martyrs and the sister of another were compelled to continue what was begun. Elisabeth Elliot and Rachel Saint had studied the Auca language with an Auca woman named Dayuma, who had escaped from the tribe during a killing raid and was now living in a nearby village. Then one day, in an unprecedented act, 3 Auca women emerged from the jungle. They came with an invitation to the women. Come live with us and tell us of the man-maker. Rachel, Elizabeth, and little Valerie Elliott took a step of faith and followed a trail never before walked by an outsider. One by one, the tribe responded to the good news. Little by little, the Bible was translated into their language. Rachel Saint lived out her entire life with the people she loved so dearly. At her funeral in 1994, the Waodani offered a second invitation for an outsider to live with them. A boy whose history was intertwined with theirs was asked to walk with them into the future. The original vision of Operation Auca 1956 came full circle as Nate Saint's son, Steve, uprooted his family and headed for the Amazon to join the Waodani as they followed God's trail. And now they are no longer the Auca, the savage. They call themselves simply the people, the Waodani.
And somewhere deep inside, I hear the whispered longing that tell me I was made for more than this. A blinding flash of light falls down into the darkness. Slowly I notice strange new markings on the trail. The crimson drops are calling out to me. Come and follow. I am the God who made you. Let me show you how to live. And I cry, I want to be a God follower. I want to go wherever He leads. I want to be a God follower. I want to walk the trail He's marked for me. And when I reach God's place, I will look into His face. And then I'll look for you. Will I find you there? Can you stay with me? I want to be a God follower.